Liverpool are a far cry from the poorly run vision of incompetence that defined a significant period of the pre-FSG years, when off-field mismanagement, chaotic ownership disputes, and a lack of sporting direction left one of the world's most iconic football clubs languishing in mediocrity and uncertainty. That era now feels like a distant memory thanks to Fenway Sports Group, who, despite their own steep learning curve upon acquiring Liverpool, managed to build the club back into a European powerhouse. From the earliest days of their tenure, when Kenny Dalglish returned to stabilize the team, to Brendan Rodgers' thrilling near-title campaign in 2013-14, and then the transformational arrival of Jurgen Klopp in 2015, Liverpool's modern resurgence has been carefully built on lessons learned from past mistakes. Klopp delivered the Champions League in 2019, the long-awaited Premier League title in 2020, and established Liverpool as perennial contenders on the global stage. But football never stands still, and now a new chapter is unfolding at Anfield, under the leadership of Arne Slot, a manager who arrives with a reputation as a tactician, man manager, and winner, having already proven his ability to build super teams in the Eredivisie. More than a decade since the darkest days, Liverpool find themselves on the cusp of another evolution, one that is forcing FSG and Arne Slot to confront the unavoidable reality of life after Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king who has defined an era at Anfield since his arrival in 2017. With Salah's contract due to expire in 2027, but his future expected to be clarified much sooner, reports suggest Liverpool and FSG have reached a mutual agreement with the forward. A definitive decision will be made at the end of the 2025-26 season about whether he remains or moves on. This agreement reflects both respect for Salah's legendary status and pragmatism about squad planning. Salah is not being pushed out, far from it. But Liverpool know the realities of football economics mean that if the right bid arrives next summer, they must be open to considering his departure. That opens the door to the sensational succession plan that is now dominating discussions in and around Anfield. The identity of Salah's potential successor has been speculated on for months, but one name stands out at the top of Liverpool's shortlist: Michael Olise, the French winger currently at Bayern Munich, who has already attracted interest from some of Europe's biggest clubs. Sources from the Bundesliga confirm that Liverpool and Manchester City are monitoring Olise closely, while PSG remain keen to bring the Frenchman home. Christian Falk, one of Germany's most respected insiders, confirmed that Bayern will resist any attempts to lure Olise away, but he also noted the growing admiration from Premier League giants. Falk even referenced Thomas Müller's private prediction that Olise will become a leader at Bayern, evidence of the esteem in which the young winger is already held. For Liverpool, the attraction is obvious. Olise possesses the technical flair, creativity, and goal-scoring ability that would make him an ideal candidate to follow in Salah's footsteps. His form has been electric, and his trajectory suggests he will only get better. Of course, replacing a bona fide Premier League legend like Mo Salah is an almost impossible task. Salah has delivered season after season of extraordinary numbers. His goal contributions are among the very best in world football. Comparing Salah's 57 goal contributions at an average of every 78.96 minutes last season to Olise's 43 at an average of every 89.34 minutes highlights both the challenge and the potential. Salah remains unmatched. But Olise is not far off, and crucially, he is 23 years old, with his peak years still ahead of him. Liverpool's interest in Olise is therefore not just about replacing Salah's output, but about ensuring the squad evolves in line with FSG's sustainable model. Yet Liverpool know they cannot simply rely on Olise to shoulder the entire attacking burden. Arne Slot's vision, much like Klopp's before him, is built on distributing responsibility across the forward line. That is why Liverpool are also keeping close tabs on Newcastle striker Alexander Isak, whose profile as a clinical out-and-out goalscorer makes him a perfect complement to Liverpool's existing attacking options. Isak has the physical presence, pace, and finishing ability to thrive in the Premier League, and his age, 25 next summer, makes him an ideal target for the long-term rebuild. Newcastle, however, will demand a premium for their star striker, which means Liverpool must be smart in how they approach negotiations. Hugo Ekitike is another name who has already impressed in England since his move, and Liverpool believe he too could play a role in diversifying their attack. Ekitike, just 23, has the attributes to develop into a top-level forward, and his adaptability means he could thrive in different attacking systems. Together, the trio of Olise, Isak, and Ekitike represent Liverpool's potential future, a dynamic, multi-dimensional frontline supported by existing talents like Cody Gakpo and young prodigy Rio Ngumoha. Gakpo, now 26, is entering his prime years, while Ngumoha, at just 17, is one of the brightest prospects in Europe. FSG's challenge is balancing these investments with Salah's eventual departure. With Salah's market value still high, especially given Saudi Arabia's continued interest, Liverpool could realistically command a transfer fee north of 100 meters should they choose to sell. That revenue would then subsidize the pursuit of Olise, whose current value according to Transfermarkt stands at 100 million, 86.4 mils, but whose true asking price would likely exceed 100 millers given Bayern Munich's reluctance to sell. For Liverpool, the financial equation is clear. Cash in on Salah at the right moment, reinvest in younger stars, and continue the cycle of renewal that has defined their success under FSG. Arne Slot's job is to make that transition seamless, on the pitch, ensuring the team remains competitive at the highest level even as icons move on. Supporters know that Salah's departure will be emotional. He is not just a player, but a legend, a symbol of Liverpool's modern identity, and one of the greatest ever to wear the red shirt. But football is about evolution, and just as the club once said goodbye to Steven Gerrard, Fernando Torres, and Luis Suarez, they will one day say goodbye to Salah too. What matters is what comes next, and Liverpool are determined to ensure the next chapter is just as successful as the last. That is why the names Michael Olise, Alexander-Isak, and Hugo Ekitike will dominate conversations in the months ahead. They represent the bold vision of FSG and Arne Slot, a vision where Liverpool continue to challenge for Premier League titles and Champions League trophies with a new generation of stars. Ultimately, if Liverpool can pull off this plan, the forward line of Gakpo, Ngumoha, Ekitike, Isak and Olise would be one of the most exciting in world football. A perfect blend of youth, experience and world-class potential. The Salah era will always be remembered as golden, but the Olise-Isak era could be just as glittering, ensuring the good times keep rolling at Anfield for years to come.